Hi everyone, Sandy here, and today I'm going to talk about brushes. The brushes that I have gathered, and the brushes that I really like, and the brushes that I am not so fond of. And I know I promised you this a long time ago, and finally I'm getting around to it, so there it is. So I'm going to just start right now with the ones that are here. I have grouped them, and I am going to talk about them as a group, and I just got a new set of the silver black velvets from Cheap Joe's, and I don't have any idea why I ordered 2 of the 1/2-inch flats, but I'm going to test those out on this video, and I'm going to see how I like them. So starting out with my Neptunes, my Princeton Neptunes. When I was in an art shop down in San Diego, and I got these 2 big ones, and I thought, wow, I really like these big ones, and I'm going to put a little bit of water on it and show you how it comes to a very nice point. For a big brush, it really is coming to a nice point, and generally I really like these brushes. This is my favorite shape, the round. And I do have different ones, filberts, flats, but I generally just go for the round. But what these brushes do, they are the Neptunes, so that means they hold a lot of water, and boy, do they hold a lot of water. So if I'm going to paint on a small painting like this, it's way too much water. And I think if somebody was going to be painting on large papers, large subject, not really detail work, these would be great. I actually end up kind of wasting a lot of paint because they suck it up so much. They suck up so much paint with the water, and then it's too much, because generally I'm working on smaller papers because my space, as you know, I'm sitting right now in a shower. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, take a look at my last video. So, generally I like the Princeton Neptunes. They've got really nice handles. They're very nice and smooth, nicely varnished. And they're okay. You can see what's happened to some of these. Oh, for crying out loud, I forgot what these are called. You know, the ones to do the... Okay, I forgot what they're called. Anyway, these guys, they kind of frayed out. So, but let me show you what happens if you put them in some water. So... okay, it's going to come to me really soon. I know you're all yelling the name of what this is, and I can't hear you. Sorry. They're fine. They don't have a nice tip. None of them do. And the small one, the small round, is basically worthless, I think. I would not get another one of these small round ones. It's okay. I mean, I would have it in my travel pack, but I don't know. It doesn't thrill me. So kind of that's what's going on with this. This one here, this Princeton Neptune modeler. This one does this. If I'm painting with it, it tends to want to stay at an angle. I don't like that. It doesn't have enough spring for me. So this is not a brush that I like. But I do use it because it's the only one that I have. And here's another flat one. This one doesn't do that, but for some reason, I never reach for this brush. Now, I've seen people use this end, this slanted end like this, you put a big bunch of water and paint on there, and then you run this through like that, and it makes a mark. And you have to do it when the paint is dry enough, but it's not dry at all, but it can't have a big puddle or it'll just fill back in. But try that if you have one of these, give that a try, because that makes some really nice marks. So those are my Princeton Neptunes. I end up not using them because I have others that I would use more. These, if I was going to recommend any to a large format painter, I would recommend the 4, 6, and 12 in the rounds, and not so much any of the others. Not really that keen on them. I'm going to put these away. My next batch of brushes, and these I got immediately when I started trying to learn to paint with watercolor. And I tried some long ones, and they don't work because I keep hitting my face with them. So I wouldn't recommend the long ones. I quit buying these when I came out of my La La Land, dreamland, and realized that to make these brushes, animals are trapped and killed. They don't just like go and snip some hairs off of somebody's tail. They kill the animal. And I'm thinking, well, that's some mighty bad karma there. Animals dying so that I can paint a picture. Most of my pictures are of animals. And I'm really interested in starting to do an endangered or threatened animals series. And so not good karma, not good at all. I'm not going to buy these anymore. I don't need to. There are brushes that are getting better and better all the time. And so what is really good about how these perform is that when you wet them, I'll take this one. This is a Blick Masterstroke Finest Red Sable. Poor little critter. And they're nice. They have a nice spring to them. They hold. It's kind of the right amount of water. They don't hold too much water like the Neptunes. It's difficult to handle the Neptunes. They don't hold too much. They hold enough. It's very well balanced. They've got a nice spring and a nice point. So, and these again are my rounds, and I'm really not using the filberts. I'm not using the flats. So you can see almost all of these are round. So that's what's with the Sables. You'll see in a lot of my videos that I'm actually using these because they are really nice, but not nice enough to have me support the killing of animals so I can paint a picture. Put those away. I'm taking really good care of those because I'm never going to buy those again. A couple that I have discontinued my use on. This one, Vinci Cosmotop Spin. I really hate this brush. Okay, I know a lot of people love to paint with this. It is the most worthless. To me, it's the most worthless brush. It will not hold enough water. It doesn't come to a nice point. It never did. I didn't do that to this brush. It just it's not like I used it a lot and it doesn't come to a point. Actually, it's coming to a point right there. But when I'm using it, it's just like sloppy. Doesn't hold water. It's just Cosmotop, not good. This was a really good brush for a while. I got these from Trader Joe's. Please. Cheap Joe's. Fibonacci Professionals. They come to a really nice, super fine, for the size of the brush, super fine tip. Very nice. I was really loving these. And then Cheap Joe's didn't carry them anymore. And I wrote to them. I said, well, what the heck? Why don't you have those brushes? Because I love them. And they said that they had to quit carrying them because the ends, this end just kept falling off, and they have to keep fixing them or you know, refunding the money so they could quit carrying them. And soon after that, I was like, what are you talking about? So soon after that, both of these ends fell off, and I jammed them on so hard that I can't get them off again. But so I don't know. I would probably glue them on because I could still use these brushes. But the thing that these brushes do is if you put what, you know, you get it wet, you get your paint, and you're painting along, and then all of a sudden, from who knows where, this big glob of water comes out, and it's suddenly you've got a puddle that, you know, it's not on the tip, it's in there somewhere, and it just makes its way down and goes bloop, and there it is. So these are for even if it was that they were just coming apart, I still might have used them if they didn't do that. That's not good. I keep a couple of really cheap, like Michael's store, you know, 10 for $2 brushes around. This one I think is a natural bristle. I think it's a boar bristle. I hope they didn't kill the pig to get that. But anyway, it's nice and stiff. And I use these two brushes for scrubbing some. If I get too much paint somewhere, I can scrub it off a little bit. I try not to do that at all because it makes an overworked look, and I don't like that. I want everything fresh. And so I just keep a couple of who cares brushes. This one is synthetic. They both work really well. I do like the flats for scrubbing. They just work better. So there's that. For my fine detail, I use Anna Mason's brush set, and they're from Rosemary and Co. And Rosemary and Co makes extremely good brushes for both oil and watercolor. So I would suggest, if you don't get the Anna Mason set, and I can't remember where I got these. I think I had to actually order them from Rosemary and Co. And there is, I think there's some, I got them in the United States, but I don't know where these are. This company is England, maybe. I would look them up. Just search for Rosemary and Co. Brushes, watercolor and oil. They probably have good acrylic, but I don't paint acrylic. I would really highly recommend these for the fine detail. And my Anna Mason set has one each of 5 sizes, and they are very useful, all of them. I use them on almost all of my paintings since I got these brushes. And I'm using them for the fine detail around the eyes, you know, anything that I want fine detail on. Otherwise, I'm not using these brushes because they're too fine. But generally, these are great brushes. I would recommend these. And okay, so I'm going to look at my brand dandy new silver black velvets. People have been speaking very highly of these, and I'm just going to give them a little try while we're sitting here and see what I think about them as far as their springiness. It's got a nice soft bristles. Oh, let me just wet this. This is a number 6 round. And let me just put a little paint on here and see what it does for me. Okay, that is one of my, why did I try to get that paint? I'm using my White Nights paint box, and that was turquoise blue. And turquoise blue, along with the burnt sienna, if I try, no, raw sienna, and turquoise blue, if I try to use those, I'd never get any color on my brush. So I don't like those two colors. All right. Let's see. Ooh. Nice point. Let's see what else I think about it. Very, okay, we're talking very nice point. Look how sharp that is. Look how sharp that is. That's really nice. It holds a good amount of paint and water. Like the Neptunes, you know, that would be like an insane amount of paint and water. I like how I can do a nice edge there. Let me see. Let me just go to the side here. It's got nice spring. Holds its point. Yeah. I think that these are nice, and probably I'll be reaching for them instead of my Sables. Let me try the flat. Some paint. Let's try this cobalt. I don't like the cobalt either in this one. Huh. Well, yeah, it's got good spring. Look at that. You see it? It's not like curling into an L shape. Yeah. Okay. I like. Hope this helped you. Have a nice day.